Be strong.
The harpies circle high above the sailor, confirming his suspicions. Argonus carries something that the dogs of Zeus desire. "'Tis reasonable that the harpies would desire an apple such as this so fervently. Not only is the skin covered in golden flake, but the interior is assuredly a sweet morsel." The name of this woman, or where she was returning from, will never be known. Unless repaired, this discarded cart is of little use. The terror that has a grip on this island has easily overtaken this man. With neither cow nor ox in sight, this cart would appear abandoned. Wooden planks and animal skins do not a comfortable bed make. This silver drachma is oddly struck, bearing the image of a grinning skull. Silver drachmas are not uncommon, but the scoring on this piece is unusual. 'Twould be more fitting were it found within Hades' temple. This appears to be a note, written on fine parchment. The note reads, "Celeus, the beast upon the hill must once again be appeased. Its appetite for riches is becoming insatiable." The poorly constructed shelf is laden with bottles, vases, and foodstuff. It appears that little time was spent in crafting this small table and accompanying chairs. Although no fire burns within, this clay stove is still warm to the touch. The great Phidias of Athens himself could not craft a sculpture so lifelike, yet lifeless. This boy was caught off guard and had little time to discern friend from foe. Book 3, Forges and Fire. Neither man nor woman is granted mercy from the scourge that stalks this isle. Without a sturdy hammer and tongs such as these, how would a smith bend iron and bronze to his will? Based on his posture, it is obvious that the terror that haunts this isle caught this man by surprise. This wooden chest is adorned with silver embellishments and a simple, the shape and color of this keystone is familiar, mirroring the one pulled from wet sand. These bellows are well crafted and certainly worthy of a smith's forge. A few uninteresting items rest upon this table. Wooden planks and animal skins do not a comfortable bed make.
Come, Pellis, sit by the fire. Do not tarry in darkness, as it is only shadows you chase.
Mayhap so, Nauplius. But is it not what is cloaked in shadows we seek? That which has brought all we know to ruin?
That I cannot say. But ponder this. If fair Athena appeared before us, bestowing hope, would she not also offer protection?
I know not. All that is certain is that a fear grips my heart like no other. Athena's promises do little to...
Hold! What manner of creature are...
Well skilled to attack a charging foe, Nauplius now stands frozen in time, never again to bear long arrows. This stone visage is of Pellis, warder of Thespia, who surpassed all men in naval skill, be it on high seas or curving shores. While this remnant has succumbed to wind and rain, it is unclear where the remainder of this massive statue resides. This appears to be nothing more than a simple basket. Perhaps Argonus adds the golden apples he is carrying to the basket. This woman, no doubt a worshipper by her garment, shall forever pluck at wildflowers. Young Cepheus, aboard the Argo not but a fortnight, has succumbed to the very thing that has cursed this isle. This statue is of Minos, the king of Crete, and son of Zeus and Europa. While the stone facade is unfamiliar, the strangely shaped hole is not. No keyhole or handle can be found among the intricate symmetrical patterns carved into these stone doors. A notch in the door frame can be seen behind this large stone statue, but cannot be reached without first moving the impediment. Argonus puts his weight against the stone, but is unable to move the statue even a hand's breadth. Without warning, the Cyclops appears, his single eye moving back and forth between Argonus and the broken statue. The docile creature wraps its massive fingers around the stone fragment and, with a grunt, moves. The Cyclops bellows at the sky before fixing its gaze on the historian. Argonus nods with understanding as the creature wanders away. The sailor's merciful boon has been paid back in full. The final keystone placed, a deep grinding fills the air, and heavy stone doors slowly open, revealing a dark passageway beyond. The remains of baskets are strewn upon the rocks. Perhaps these once contained offerings meant to satiate the beast. Gold can be seen scattered throughout this massive nest. During his adventures, Argonus has beheld many a fabled beast. None, however, compare to the majesty of this creature. Both lion and eagle melded into one. The gaze from the griffin brings the sailor pause. Argonus slowly retreats, leaving the golden treasure be. Argonus approaches the griffin cautiously, glancing anxiously toward the skies before setting the gold-laden basket upon the sod. The beast immediately takes notice, as the treasure is simply too great to resist. After a moment, it leaves its hoard unguarded. All at once, the air is replete with the rush of wings and unearthly screams. The dogs of Zeus descend as one, intent on claiming the savory prize as their own. Although fear grips his breast, Argonus makes haste, quickly seizing several of the golden pieces before the unearthly combatants take notice. The visage of Hephaestus, god of the forge, has been painstakingly carved into marbled stone. His mighty hammer looks powerful enough to destroy or break open almost anything. Marbled stone shifts as the spirit of Hephaestus enters the ornate statue shaped long ago by human hands. The god of the forge regards Argonus with unblinking eyes.
Who is this man before me? Surely not one who strikes the iron, no one who stokes the fire. Nay.
The god continues, his brow furrowed.
They are no more, having fallen to that which fair Athena hath unleashed. Do not be deceived, sailor of the Argo. While it was Perseus's hand that sundered head from shoulders, the heart that drove the blade was assuredly that of the goddess.
Hephaestus pauses, deep in thought. When he speaks again, it is slow and measured.
I am loath to meddle in my sister's quarrels, either to directly help your quest to find your countrymen, or abate the scourge being wrought by the Gorgon's sisters. And yet, if you return the gold stolen from my temple, and tend my forge. I will grant you a light to drive away darkness.
The benevolent god nods before the statue becomes still once again. Like a hunter returning with prized spoils, Argonus holds the golden artifacts high, and the statue of Hephaestus stirs.
Well done, Argonus.
The god of smiths says, nodding.
While I will not interfere with that which has been set into motion, mighty Hephaestus can instruct. Can he not?
The god motions to the forge.
4 things are paramount, Argonaut. Coal for the fire, air to stoke, metal to shape, and a tool to shape it.
He then points to Argonus.
Sailor, historian, mapmaker, and soon metallurgist. Surely your father Argus would approve.
And with that, Hephaestus looks away and moves no more. Argonus sets the petrified heart of the Hydra before Hephaestus, prompting the statue to life once more, without questioning the intent of the sailor, nor asking for a boon in return. The god's mighty hammer crashes down, freeing the creature's organ from its stone prison. Freed from its stone prison, the still beating heart of the Methosian Hydra radiates a fell heat. It would appear a piece of the forge is missing. This stone forge is bereft of coal, and for the moment, useless. This pile of dirt is intermingled with bits of dark, cold coal. Again and again, Argonus sets shovel to dirt, until all that remains are a number of coals. Its fiery work complete, nothing of import remains within this kiln. Argonus sets the wool into the forge. It takes only a single strike of steel on flint to produce a fine flame. Argonus squeezes the bellows repeatedly, fanning the flames of the forge until the coals blaze with an intense heat. The griffin's gold is set carefully within the forge. It doesn't take long for the soft metal to begin to glow. As if possessed by the spirit of Hephaestus himself, Argonus brings the hammer down on the gold again and again, reshaping once beautiful armor into a mass of precious metal. Divine power continues to drive his strokes as unrecognizable form takes shape and after time becomes something far more than the sailor thought he could construct. A light to drive away darkness. This golden torch may have been formed by man, but 'twas the god of forges that guided the hammer. The visage of Hephaestus, god of the forge, has been painstakingly carved into marbled stone. His mighty hammer looks powerful enough to destroy or break open almost anything. Unlike Hephaestus's forge, this sconce is fueled by the torchlit flame generates a small amount of heat, but offers little comfort to the wayward sailor. This sconce is filled with the same dark oil found within temple braziers. Firelight shines upon the stone, clearly showing an embossed design of circular corridors. The construction of this circle suggests that it can be moved.
Milise file caparese. Come, Euryale. It is time.
No,
What did you say?
I will go no further, and neither will you. I won't let you.
You won't let me? You won't let me? I have had enough of your questioning, your endless whimpering.
Sister, this must end.
Yes, you are right. This must end.
have you done, Zeno?
What was required. Goodbye, Euryale.
The craftsmanship of this brazier is quite pedestrian, lacking. Book 4, The Penitent One. This brazier was carved for but one purpose: to hold oil and a consequent flame. With the exception of the oil within, this stone brazier is devoid of anything of worth. Albeit now ensorcelled into stone, there is no doubt that this creature is a minotaur, consigned to roam these stone halls for all eternity. The rock in the center of this room has seen the work of a chisel, as if prepared to be a support or stand. After a moment of concentration, Argonus unleashes the Daimon's power upon the stone minotaur. The beast crumbles to the ground, its soul never again to maunder dark corridors. The short sword has been transformed, its blade no longer pitted, its sharp edge made perfect for slashing or prying. The rock in the center of this room has seen the work of a chisel, as if prepared to be a support or stand. This brazier was carved for but one purpose: to hold oil and a consequent flame. With the exception of the oil within, this stone brazier is devoid of anything of worth. This mechanism is not merely unusual. Its construction is beyond the imagination of most craftsmen. A well-worn wooden handle. Argonus pulls the handle, but nothing happens. It seems the mechanism is incomplete. The construction of this circle suggests that it can be moved. A fire set within this brazier might help alleviate the sense of dread within these stone walls. Amidst bold heroes, none rose above great Admetus, who now stands bewitched within a husk of stone and clay. The hull of this ship has been crushed. Whether this was the result of sharp rocks is unclear. Surely a worshipper. This man and his drum have now become naught but a religious ornament. This woman was caught unawares, having been transformed to stone while playing for her god. This woman is further proof that none shall be spared the wrath set upon this isle. This grand statue would be easily recognized by any man. 'Tis the god Apollo. Argonus is unsurprised when the sculpture of Apollo stirs. After all, he has come to expect such things upon this enchanted isle. What does startle him, however, is how casually the son of Zeus dismisses him out of hand.
How is it that a mere sailor may enter my temple and approach Apollo in such a manner, his hands empty of tribute, no song upon his lips?
The god's voice becomes despondent.
Look about you. All things have been diminished. This sanctuary, once full of music, is now naught but a tomb of silence. I sense that you would require something of me, yet you, a scholar, do not bring me the very thing which my heart desires.
Before Argonus can utter a word, the god of music turns away from him, but not before laying a pledge upon the sailor's shoulders.
Return with an offering worthy of one such as I, and the light of Apollo may yet shine upon you.
This grand statue would be easily recognized by any man. 'Tis the god Apollo. Expertly crafted, this small circle is set within a channel, allowing it to move freely. This brazier was carved for but one purpose: to hold oil and a consequent flame. This wooden door, its planks bound by iron bands, contains no handle, no keyhole. Thanks to the gift of sight granted to him by the witches, Argonus recalls and recites the words spoken by Stheno.
Μίλησε φίλε και πέρασε.
As the doors part, the smell of blood rises to greet him. Rattled breathing leads Argonus to a broken form, half hidden against a stone wall within this dark chamber. When the figure finally speaks, a voice is soft and filled with pain. Come no closer, Argonaut, else you be brought low like many men before you. Even though I, Euryale, refused to let my gaze fall upon them, I offer no excuses, no defense. My acquiescence of my twin Stheno has made me culpable for their deaths as well. Euryale pauses for a moment, catching her breath before continuing. I can, however, offer you something else. Something you seek. My merciless sister herself. Stheno has used an ancient stone to enter Hades' realm. There, she shall descend to the greatest depths of the underworld and undo that which the hero Perseus set into motion when he consorted with the gods. Stheno shall free our sister Medusa from Tartarus, the dungeon of torment. Euryale struggles to continue. Athena was not content with the punishment Medusa suffered in life, so the goddess sent her there to live out eternity with the vile and the wicked. But Stheno shall not stop with Medusa's release. No. She shall rip wide the gates of Tartarus and set loose all souls, profane men and dreadful Titan alike, until the dungeon is empty and those it held spread like a pestilence upon the land of the living. For this is her vengeance against Perseus, against Athena, against all the gods, on Olympus and elsewhere. Stop her, Argonaut. Use our great horn to lure the mighty bronze giant Talos, for he can bring you to the gates of Hades' domain. Her voice raspy and fading, the Gorgon raises her head one last time. Forgive me, Mother. Let legend lay a wreath of mercy upon my wretched brow. And with that, Euryale, the penitent daughter of the sea goddess Quito, passes from this world and into the next. The Gorgon Euryale has followed her sister into the underworld, albeit on a different path. Forged in bronze, this large cog is At first glance, this boat appears to be nothing more than a child's toy. However, upon closer examination, it is quite familiar. 'Tis the faithful Argo. His hand shaking, Argonus moves the model of his father's ship from shallow waters to the beach surrounding it. This area on the map represents the temple of the sea god Poseidon. Hera's temple, set just outside her golden orchard, can be seen here, fashioned of stone. While far larger in life, gracious Hephaestus inhabits a stone statue within a similar temple. The statue dedicated to Hades, lord of the underworld, can be found within the temple that this stone symbolizes. Though some features on this sculpture are difficult to discern, taken in its entirety, it is not. 'Tis a stone map of this very isle. The Temple of Apollo, vain god of music, has been sculpted and set here upon this map. The location of this temple is unknown, and therefore disconcerting. Made of obsidian, this stone is not only smooth, but warm to the touch. A fantastic creature set at its crown, this wooden harp is a masterwork. Argonus strums the strings, producing a surprisingly melodic resonance. Argonus strums the strings, producing a surprisingly melodic resonance.